Hello, Wastelanders. Today we're diving into something subtle but potentially monumental happening in Fallout 76's Point Pleasant. And this live look at the PTS, public test server, may be the first signs of a map expansion. Let's teleport in. First, live server comparison. Starting in the live version of the game, here's Point Pleasant as most of you know it. You cross the broken bridge, stepping into familiar ground. On this side, you're faced with a collapsed span and a dead-end wall that forces a climb or a jetpack leap to access the town rooftops. On the bridge itself, little more than vines crawling across an aged wall and a small, unassuming chamber tucked beneath. That's the setting. Broken, abandoned, static. Until now. Second, PTS discovery. Switching over to the PTS, changes instantly catch the eye. The entry through the church now flows straight into the town. There's no longer a blocked pathway. The barrier is gone, replaced by a continuation of the environment. No longer a dead end, but a literal doorway into what's next. As you approach the bridge's edge, something remarkable unfolds. Construction has begun. Wooden beams, framing an extension of the bridge, emerge. A utility pole marks the transition from decay to rebirth. These aren't arbitrary environmental pieces. They signal intention and purpose. Third, on-bridge changes. Climbing up, you'll notice the vines have proliferated. Where once they ended abruptly, they now stretch across the span, creating a living bridge. Part organic structural support, part ominous growth. Among the vines are skeletal remains, possibly seeped into the lore or a nod to the Silver Bridge collapse, referencing the real-world tragedy that inspired Fallout's region design. It's subtle world-building at its best. Yet the primary takeaway here is plain as day. This area is being prepared for something more, perhaps a new playable zone. Fourth, why this may signal a map expansion. So what could the developers be planning? The bridge extension can mean one clear thing. Prepare to explore beyond Point Pleasant. Maybe the long-rumored expansion, perhaps similar in scale to Skyline Valley, is on the horizon. The combination of environmental storytelling, vines, skeletal remains, scaffolding, and accessible pathways in the PTS are strong indicators that this area isn't just being spruced for show, it's being primed for exploration. Consider how Fallout 76 has expanded before. Skyline Valley unlocked fresh terrain, new factions, quests, and storylines. Crafting a narrative and physical bridge into new territory the same way could mean Fallout's map is slowly expanding westward through Ohio. Point Pleasant, with its haunting Mothman lore and ghost town feel, is a perfect springboard for new content. The lore-rich wheatfield that is Point Pleasant, cult worship, responder history. Now that there's spiritual echoes of the Mothman, makes launching the next storyline from here make sense. Fifth, lore context enhancements. Let's anchor this in the game's lore. Point Pleasant exists on the Ohio River, opposite Gallipolis, and sits in the forest region of Appalachia. Its standout attraction is the Mothman Museum, which conceals a hidden cult underbelly, a remnant of the pre-war cult of the Mothman that worshipped the cryptid as prophecy. The real-world Silver Bridge collapse of 1967 haunted the area in the Fallout timeline as well, mirrored by the broken bridge here. Now, seeing construction begin is not just environmental, it's narrative progress. Imagine stepping across this rebuilt bridge into entirely new terrain, encountering new threats, NPCs, and mysteries. Imagine that as the focus of a major, possibly year-end update, the biggest one yet, as Bethesda hinted. 6. Performance and optimization notes. Players have noted performance dips in Point Pleasant during the Mothman event, likely due to dense rooftops and scenery. If the map expands here, optimization challenges will likely grow, so players with older hardware may want to preemptively lower some settings before exploring what's next. 7th, speculation and theories. Right now, the buildup is all speculation, but it's informed speculation. Maps don't just get environmental edits without purpose. They're usually precursors to exploration zones or narrative shifts. Could this mean a new region opening westward, perhaps into Ohio's interior? Or maybe a vertical expansion, caves, old mills, deeper Mothman cult locations. The vines acting as support and the skeletal remains below suggest a journey into a mysterious, possibly subterranean domain. If this turns out to be a teaser for an impending expansion, players who pay attention will be steps ahead, while others might miss the clues entirely. Finally, wrapping thoughts. Point Pleasant is whispering, something's coming, and these new details reinforce it. From abandoned bridges to growing infrastructure, there's a story unfolding, one I can't wait to walk through. Let me know in the comments. Do you think a new region is opening across the river? What do you hope lies beyond that bridge? Drop your theories down below. This is what Fallout is about. Mysteries revealed one moss-covered plank at a time. Thanks for watching. If this breakdown helped you see the clues in a new light, hit that like and consider subscribing for more Fallout 76 insights and explorations. The wasteland is vast, and it's getting bigger.